welcome everyone back to another week of team battles. This week we have AMG versus RZ. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that. RZ versus AMG. Home map, we will start with RZ's home map, which will be Akagi, and then we'll move on to AMG's home map, which is Tsubaki. Uphill, Akagi, RZ's home map. AMG picks the position. Music is louder. Thank you. How are you doing? Also, what's the thing you're using for the listen music there? I forgot to ask in the Discord. I'm not quite sure what it's called actually. It is called. I try and find out, but I'm not too sure what it is off the top of my head. Music is too loud. Okay, not my microphone. Anyway, 100 things going on at the minute. How's that sound-wise? We've got GTR versus Evo. And that overlay is called, it is 6K Labs. If you type that in, you might, 6K Labs Spotify widget. I might be able to get you an exact link, but type that in, that's what I think it is. So yeah. No worries. Okay, GTR, Evo, both very good cars here. Different driving styles. GTR's a lot more grip focused. Evo, you see it sliding a lot more, but the GTR sliding there out the last corner there. Evo looking to try and make some space on the outside, adjusting its lines. I think the GTR's got a slight power advantage. So the straights do give itself to the GTR more so than the Evo. Who's the GTR? It is... we had a pronunciation lesson a while ago when he raced last. Yeah, that's it. I don't know how to pronounce that. It's too many vowels together in a weird way. I just don't know how to pronounce that. Umino, I think that's how it's meant to be pronounced. Umeno. Umeno? Yeah. Pronunciation, the spelling always gets me. Always gets me. Okay, grip section. Evo was quite close. Decided to kind of back out of it. And we've got a straight coming out of this last corner. Good exits. Bit of a tap on the outside wall. Lag, but Evo's definitely still with the GTR here. Braking is a bit confused. Evo definitely wanted to brake a lot later and slide and swing its rear out. I've pulled the 6K Labs website up to look at after the streams. Perfect. What I can do is I can get you the link that I use. I can send that directly in the chat after the stream, or if there's a bit of period where we're waiting for drivers. But yeah, I can definitely send that over the chat for you to take a look at, just to make sure it's the same overlay, same one. I use YouTube Music instead of Spotify, so you don't need... Okay, perfect. Well, if you need any more information like the link, I can provide it if you do want it. Evo's definitely trying to min-max these lines here, going for a different line, offsetting it a bit. They have a different one for YouTube. Okay, perfect. You're all sorted with that overlay widget. Brilliant. Okay, GTR's making up a bit of time here. And good exit using the gutter. Maybe not so good as I thought, but the Evo had a decent exit, but going to be neck and neck to the finish. When do we get to gamble like an RR? So there's channel points, and currently we need to meet a certain criteria. I was looking at it the other day, and it is a certain amount of Twitch partner, that's it, a certain amount of followers, certain amount of streams, and for a certain amount of hours. I don't think we quite reach it on the amount of, or different days. It might be different days instead, but regardless, so we don't quite reach the Twitch partner. I might have to stream some more general streams, like if I'm playing the game, if I'm myself playing the game, I might do some time attack or open lobbies or something, or maybe on a weekend if there's no battles or a time that suits me better, I might be able to do a more of a general stream. I don't imagine people will be particularly interested in it, but it's something to just get those streaming numbers up. Really, that's all it's for. Dev stream /NSRS. Well, thank you for your support. Who's in the black car is a funny one. It's Vingo in the Evo, and it's Unmeno in the GTR. Getting that really quite wrong in the GTR. Sacrificing a lot of time there. Who's in the all-wheel drive? Yeah. Who's in the tower car? Who's in the car? Yeah. What else do they share similarities with? Who's in the spec brief? I'm surprised at Vingo's performance, actually. Especially he seems to be gapping Umino quite a bit. I don't know what's going on. He seemed to get a few sections a bit wrong. Braking's a bit off. And Vingo is just absolutely running away. That's what, 30 meters, if that? Oh, we cooked. It does look like it. Vingo is cooking. Umino. Shut up. Who's in there? But yeah, he's doing a really good job. And I'm not too familiar with Vingo in terms of his presence in RR, mainly. But I don't think he was a top level team, not top level player, but he seems to be doing a really good performance. I'm really quite surprised. But yeah, doing a good job. GTR getting nice and close to the inside. Vingo looks to be getting 50 meters easily. Umino is off his game. We'll switch to the Evo driver now. Just have a look at these lines. He seems to be absolutely locked in. I'm not sure what RR is. It's better you don't. Well, I mean, there's no harm in it. It's mainly where everyone comes from, and I suppose the prequel to KU here. But RR was just the same kind of thing. They did competitive team battles, just like what we're doing now, and they just stopped doing it. Management wasn't able to do it. People weren't free, so we just decided to take it over or do our own thing. But yeah, because there's no reason for the fan base or the community to die because they're not doing it anymore. So I've got a little bit of time and I don't mind managing. It's fairly light to manage, so I don't see any problems doing that. But yeah, I'm already in the IU server on there. It looks like Vingo's going to win this. 32-33 pace. It's very, very well driven. I thought he was going faster, to be honest. But very, very well done. First half of the map goes to RZ here. Very well played indeed. I shouldn't get that. Okay, so now we go to the downhill. Presumably, hopefully they've got lobbies. Yes, hosted. Okay, perfect. I assume it's also Radmin 0 tier, but I guess we'll find out, won't we? Yes, it is. Perfect. And then once we're happy with positions, away we go. Season ended and that's another season we make a after stream. So it looks to be a Slappy versus, I'm not familiar with his name. It's all Asian characters. I don't know if it's Chinese, Japanese, or anything. Oh, lobby's crashed. I don't know if I disconnected, but okay. Okay, I don't know what's quite going on. Oh no, I'm connected to the lobby. Okay. Away we go. Okay, so it looks like Slappy for RZ versus the I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, so I might have to translate. It's I'm not even gonna try and pronounce that. This lobby seems to be continuously kicking me out. This is a very odd. That's it. I don't know what his name is, but he drives the AP1, and he's been driving the AP1 for a while. I think he's quite good at the AP1. I think he did it was challenging some of CCL's times. I'm not sure if that's true, but I know they were definitely pushing each other, or I think CCL was helping the other guy with the AP1 in general. Oh, it is Chinese. Okay. Who was hosting? It was the other guy. I can't even type his name because that's it. Yeah, I should pin that message as well. There we go. Into the lobby. That's good. And he's hosting, leading switch drivers, and then I don't know, I think it might have crashed again or something. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Might have to change over to Radmin, but oh no. Okay, host leader, that's right. Okay, away we go. The AP1, I think, was NSX, which is going to be interesting matchup. Both grip-ish cars, or they don't like to drift too well. I don't think the ping's too great between the two, but I guess we'll just hope and pray it is. Okay, NSX doing a bit of an interesting line. I think that's mostly lag. Connection between the two is like 400 milliseconds or something. It's terrible. But NSX AP1's got a 25 as a time, as a personal best here, which is quite a good time in the AP1. I think CCL had maybe a high 24, but I know it's quite difficult to run those kind of times. Low 24s. No, high 24s, low 25s. It's difficult to run those times consistently. I think more so when your car hasn't got any power. Okay, don't know. I think there's some lag involved. We'll change over to no. Okay, I think the lobby might have completely crashed. I might reconnect to it, but I don't think this is going to be particularly good for a viewing experience. It's completely gone. I wonder if they've crashed then. Yeah, probably. Or we'll... Yeah, there it is. Is this anime accurate? I don't know. I don't think it is. NSX AP1 on Akagi seems all very wrong. I should think... Okay, I don't know what's going on my computer. I suppose we might try... I think it's going to be terrible either way. I switched the host. I didn't disconnect in the lobby, but was not good ping to the same stat size, I think so. I don't know. I don't know how accurate the stats are on the lobby to how the cars perform and how they compare to each other. Is this just inevitable internet problems of a KU stream? Yeah, this is more just the game. The game's inherent ability to make you a host. So your computer is basically acting as the host, and if you've got an opponent that's however many thousands of miles away, it's just going to struggle for you to connect. I mean, my computer's having issues. I don't know if the stream's having any issues, but I've just completely... Nothing's working. What's going on? Okay, well, that doesn't want to work. What is going on? Can I open Radmin? What is going on with my computer? Jesus Christ. It's actually having... I don't know if people connect to Radmin and 02 at the same time. I don't know if that has any effect on... I don't even know what's going on. No one's communicating. What's going on? So I got disconnected. Oh. This is not terrible. Apparently, I just got disconnected, but the other two are fine. I'm completely disconnected. Wish that worked, lol. Yeah, it's occasionally you do get two people where the ping between them is just horrendous. So you get cars going every which way, up, down, flying, on the walls, doing whatever it really wants to do. And then other times it's much more rarer for myself to just completely disconnect from the host, completely. I mean, my ping with the host was 200. It was like 400 between the races, so it's unlikely that it's weird that I'm disconnecting and not someone else, but it is what it is. Wish there was a chunk of that last stream. Yeah, there always seems to be some kind of internet issues, but I'm not really surprised because you've got I'm not sure where these teams are based, but I know AMG is Asia, so my connection to them isn't going to be great regardless, but if someone from RZ is quite Western Europe or perhaps Eastern America, it's just the connection's going to be terrible. or South America. Just if you get a long distance, it's just terrible. Just terrible. I'm going to try Radmin again, but 0-2 again, but so you might struggle to connect to the Chinese fellow because just the ping. It's just got to go a long distance. We'll try them hosting again, but if not, I think we are going to have a sub from. I think it might have to be AMG might have to sub because their driver doesn't have Radmin, so we can't even change the VPN service for it so it can be better, or it might be better. Well, I'm struggling with it. Now I'm having the connection issues. This is terrible. Switch hosts. Otherwise, I think. This is terrible, and this is the thing that takes forever. The races take a matter of minutes, but the connecting to a battle takes forever. Okay, I can connect to that. That's terrible. 600. Wow. Hopefully, I just need to stay in the lobby. Okay. Second time is the charm. 4 races making a long stream, yeah. This is only the second race, and we're already 20 minutes since when this should have started. I don't know when it actually started. And it just doesn't want to load. They're saying it's a bit laggy to each other. No, that looks like it's just gonna not work. Yeah, okay. I think we're gonna have to change drivers from the AMG point of view. Yeah, switch drivers from the AMG point of view. It's terrible. Terrible. Such a shame. It doesn't matter who hosts it, just need someone to host. I mean, that's much better ping from myself to Gryffindor here. Only about 200. Let's see what Slappy's is. Okay, we'll try this again. Oh, it's much better. Well, I say much better. It doesn't seem to be as bad. 400 instead of 6. What's the score? Score is half of the map of Akagi to RZ. So it's we've only done the uphill, so it's like advantage to RZ on Akagi. This will be the deciding factor to whether or not this is a coin flip and decided for this map, or we have RZ taking RZ's home map. FC NSX. FC getting a much better launch. Oh no, that's just lag. That's just lag. And it's not changing. Why is the screen not changing? Oh, it is. It's just lag. Okay, that's fine. I don't know what that was. I don't know what that was. I don't know if there's contact or lag. FC seems to be a really big gap, but I don't even know if that's true. Perhaps. Braking can be horrible. This is the Slappy's connecting to Gryffindor, so I think we're just going to ride on board with Gryffindor here, because his connection will be a lot more stable, I should imagine. Let's see if we can get a bit of a reverse chase cam. But he's just jumping all over the place. It's always a sight to see, isn't it? Wall riding and going straight when the car's pointed in a different direction. Oh my god, bit of airtime there. Gryffindor, very nice lines here. Tight, little tap on the exit, but oh yeah, Gryffindor's keyboard player, isn't he? So this is very impressive. With how close he's getting, I think. Yeah. Very nice. I wouldn't say conservative lines, but very good lines. Yeah, a little bit of a tap on the exit, all good. NSX is still there, doing its own thing. Nice line there. That's a little tap, it's just perfection for this FC. It really is really good driving. Got this section, braking perfectly, tapping the apex, nice and clean on the exit. Braking it at the end of the wall. Could have used the inside a bit more, but still a good line nonetheless. I want to see the other people here. I want to watch the chaos from the lag. Do you really? Okay, well we'll switch back then. NSX. Now I've done a little bit of NSX playing. I quite like the car, actually. But it's definitely not the quickest on a lot of maps, and this map seems to be quite drifty. This is the chaos we see. A bit of wall riding. Some very interesting inputs. Oh my god. Taking the little cut, maybe not. It's just terrible lag. Yeah, I see a lot of guardrail. A lot of chaos, as you say. Last couple of sections, I think that's 50 meters to be perfectly honest, which means we're going to go from a advantage to RZ to a coin flip for the map. Yeah, quite a convincing ring, not a bad time at all. 27s. Looks like we go to a coin flip. Well raced. Let's see what the coin flip says. Oh, uphill, which is better because I think the connection was a lot better between the two anyway. So it looks like RZ can take their home map as a point here. FD and back, welcome back. Walls weren't that much of an issue in the uphill. It was quite smooth. It was a much better connection. It was much better. I'm just gonna turn Spotify down on my end so I can actually hear myself talk. I think the Spotify level should be as loud as it's the same, but I've just adjusted the audio, so do tell me if there is any issues with that. But yeah, the uphill was a lot better in terms of connection, in terms of connection and evident, and therefore the driving looked a lot smoother. Yeah. But yeah, the uphill was good, and hopefully there's a bit more of a battle between these two. I think there's definitely a battle to be had between these two players. I think they definitely can both perform a 33 pace, which was Vingo's winning pace on the last matchup, or last race. So yeah, GTR, Evo randomly this time. So Evo is going to have to go for an overtake for a win here. GTR just has to try and outrun him. Both getting good launch. GTR getting slightly better launch. I don't know which ones launch better, which all-wheel drives launch better. I don't know if the GTR has a better launch because it just has more power, but it could lead to more wheel spin. GTR, nice first corner, keeping it tidy, using that inside gutter for corner exit. It's exactly what you want to be doing. Evo drifting it. Quite a sharp line in, and then a flick mid corner, and then a point and shoot exit. FT managed to get this a bit wrong last time, but it looks to be a lot smoother this time. Evo getting very close, having to do what would look like a kind of a saving flick, getting the rear rotated out of the way. Hello. CSX Kai X. Welcome to the chat. GTR getting a bit of a lead there. Bit of a game freeze for me. I don't know what's going on. GTR, I don't know if getting a lead. I think it might be building a little bit of a gap through these corners. Just taking it a bit better than the Evo for each subsequent corner. What's the score? The score is 0-0, but this is the tiebreaker for RZ's home map. So if RZ wins this, then they win the point, and if AMG win this, then they'll win the map. This is RZ's home, so it makes sense. Well, the home team is RZ and the away team is AMG, so you'd kind of expect RZ to be better at their home map, but it's not always the case. GTR doing that much, very clean as well. Evo still there. I'm not sure if you need to swing the Evo that much, or if it's losing any time by doing that. GTR gets a bit of a gap along the straight. Don't know if that was Evo a bit wide or just a bit of lag. Just bad line. Yeah, GTR Evo is quite a good matchup. Basically, very similar cars in terms of setup, but they're driven completely differently. Just because of how it's set up, with the GTR system being a lot more active and the Evo system being a lot more of a passive and consistent system. Evo looks to have got on the power too early there, making him go wide for the next corner. still pretty close. I shouldn't expect a real distance at the end. I think that either 20 meters or so. Yeah, definitely, even on paper, and then it just comes down to driver skill. Both good uphill cars as well, so Evo initiating that drift a bit too early, losing a bit of time there. GTR's got a bit of a gap. It seems to have taken that better, I think. Is the GTR able to just extend its last leg to be over 50 meters? It's going to be close. 40 meters, 45 meters. Yeah, it's close. Next round. Definitely close. 32 pace. We're getting quicker and quicker each time. It must have been close. 40 something meters, 45 meters or more, I'm not sure. .332. 32, 31. So PB pace is similar. I don't know if that means that Umino PB'd there. 32.7. I'm not 100% sure. But Vingo's definitely got the better PB pace. GTR's all over the Evo first corner. Nice and close. Making it harder for the Evo to do his swing and point and shoot technique, but GTR is right there on the rear bumper of the Evo. Losing a bit of that momentum as Evo upshifts. GTR going into the back of the Evo there. How many? 49.3 meters. Yeah, I thought it was going to be close, but jeez, that is that's really close. Evo being a big mistake there, I think. GTR overtakes there. I assume he's going to keep it. And now Vingo is really going to be pushing to try and re-overtake just to stay, for it to go another round. Going in deep. I don't know if there's a bit of a touch there, messing up the drift there for Vingo. GTR's going to pull a bit on the straight here. GTR's got to brake a bit earlier, so Vingo's definitely going to be very creative with his lines here. A later apex, an earlier apex, or just kind of just going wider to get a narrower line on the exit. GTR looks a bit wide from the apex. Vingo taking perhaps a little bit too much speed, but he seems to have done all right. Evo using that later braking you can get away with. It's very close, almost a little bit of a collision there. Another braking, let's see. I'll be warning one for Vingo there, just braking too late and not giving the GTR space there, causing a bit of a collision. I think the Evo making a little bit of mistake there. And then you're all out of shape for the subsequent corners that are all left, right. So losing a bit of time there. Still not over. GTR looks to have made a terrible mistake on the exit there, losing a lot of time. Evo coming right back. I don't know if that was a mistake there. I think it's just lag. Evo getting the line he wanted there onto the straight. GTR might make a bit more time here. You truly don't know where they are with the little lag spikes. So that was a really good corner from the Evo. So much that the lag assumed that he died a couple of times. I think that's another bump. So that's going to be Vingo's second warning there. Oh my god. For that, I think I did see the GTR struggle or get hit. I don't really know what's going on, to be perfectly honest. You can kind of guess if two cars have a collision based on how the other one kind of reacts to a kind of expected collision. And I don't know what Vingo's seeing either. But yeah, Vingo's really just trying to trying to re-overtake for a little mistake he made earlier on, and he's just, unfortunately, I don't think he's going to do it. Yeah, GCR is just going to keep making that distance bigger, and unfortunately that is an AMG win there for RZ's home map. So already 1-0 to AMG. We move to Subaki. We do Subaki downhill. I'm not sure if we might see some CCL action here. Haven't seen CCL race for his own team yet, I don't think. It was a really good race from Ringo. Really good race. Unfortunate that he struggled and made a mistake early on, costing him the race, but other than that, well fought. Fought back very well. Downhill Subaki. Who's got a lobby for me? We'll go downhill Subaki. Oh, interesting. CCL. I wonder what CCL's racing in. I think he's FD. He might be uphill. We might see him on the uphill. I know he hit the wall. I've been there since the start of the stream. Yeah. It was a shame. Who's CCL? CCL is the team lead, I think, for AMG, and quite a good player. Well, a very good player. I think he might be one of the top players currently active, because there's not many of the top players left. But yeah, CCL, a very old player, been playing the game for a very long time. Have we got a lobby open? AP1 Subaki. That's also quite a difficult map for the AP1, I think, pace-wise. Okay, there we go. Now I'm in. RZ picks position this time for AMG's home map of Subaki line. I just don't want to be disconnected. That's really it. Let's see what. Well, CCL isn't racing this one. It's the Chinese fellow again in the AP1. CCL might be on the uphill, but I'm not sure. I don't know quite where this team stands compared to like skill level wise. I think they're spec team at least. Maybe even spec plus with some of those times. So I don't know if CCL will come in for the sake of for the sake of getting his team the win here. Well, at least we're following the AP1, and we wouldn't be seeing a very interesting perspective. But we're going to see what the NSX is doing. Absolutely flying around. Very conservative line there from the AP1, but I don't know where the NSX is on his screen, so it could be. Oh my god. You can't really commentate much on this at all. And then the NSX will appear ahead. That's quite far ahead. This map is, I think, quite good for the NSX. Lights go on. I'm not sure why. Normally, well, you see a flash of the headlights would perhaps indicate some kind of contact. Is that exploits or just pure lag? That is pure lag, my friend. Pure lag. I mean, you can't even do that with exploits. Exploits, I think, would be more like increasing the values of the cars, giving yourself more downforce or speed. But yeah, no, that's just pure wizardry lag. Seems to be a common occurrence every stream. Lights are now off. I don't know why they're on in the first place. I don't know actually how these guys are playing, because they might be playing with a different skybox. So it might be looking at more of a dull sky, or it might be less light. I'm not quite sure how they're playing it, but I've got this lovely sunset skybox. Perfect amount of brightness, perfect amount of harshness, not too harsh light. Oh, a little mistake there from the AP1 there. Getting no contact coming into that corner. Yeah, sunset skybox is very nice. I don't know if this is, I think this is skybox 1, sunset 1, yeah, sunset 1. Down the straight into the big braking zone. Big cambered corner. AP1 seems to close the gap. If I'm to go off anything about the inner six's positioning here, but 20 meters, if that. Very tidy lines from the AP1. Headlights gone again. Not sure on the power a bit early there, but he saved it, not going into the guardrail. I normally just punch it and stay in it. A little tap on the guardrail is just all inclusive. Okay, so hopefully none of that happened on his stream, but he's extremely close. I don't think he's quite alongside, but he's definitely not too far off. I think it might be alongside actually. Yeah, very well driven with all this lag. Did they do this in the anime? I mean, pretty much, isn't it? Fujiwara zone appearing. Look at that magical 10-20 meters just gained. Where'd it come from? He's in the zone. Fujiwara zone. Yeah. Wow, that was quite a few places where the AP1 was really close there. Another sharp corner. And then you only got 2 left, and then the last straight. Yeah. All you just need is the wings animation, and there you go. That's the literally recreation 1-to-1 to the anime. Next round, 37 pace. I have a feeling that the AP1 will be able to set a better pace. It didn't lag for them. Well, that is incredible. How did it not lag for them? I'm seeing everything but lag. It's terrible. Wow, as long as they can race, I'm all here for it. I think there might have been some really good side-by-side racing from their point of view. AP1 leading. I didn't quite grab a time for what the pace is like. Oh, look at that. Or is that a picture or a... Oh, Mercy Wings. Okay, interesting. EU Asia races with NA casters. I'm EU. I'm not NA. I'm EU. So I don't know why. Yeah, I'm UK. I'm not American. If this was American, this would be bloody great ping. I think Aiden will get something a lot worse. Yeah, this is literally what I am. Relegated to NA spectator. I don't know where Slappy is. I think Slappy's Eastern Europe. Perhaps like Western Asia, like really on the border between the two. But I know, well, from his characters in his name, he's probably, well, we came to the conclusion it was Chinese, which is middle of Asia, isn't it? So their ping shouldn't be too bad, supposedly. I and mine should be a little bit worse, but I mean, my connection is to the AP1 guy is only about 200. I think that's better than what I get with CCL. So Western Asia, is that India, China? Is it that way around? Might be. Yeah, well, anyway, they're not too far apart if it's Eastern Europe and Western Asia connected. But I have no idea where Slappy is from. I assume it's European. I think Slappy is more playing WRC than drifting. He's all over the place, isn't he? AP1's got a clear margin. I think we're going to swap to the AP1 now, just for a smoother, calmer camera setting, and we can have a look back to see what the NSX is doing. But yeah, it seems to be AP1's got a very comfortable lead, even if not from the lag. 40, 50, oh, that's easily 50, 60 meters. It's no longer 40 meters, it's halfway along the straight as he's coming onto it. I imagine, what, 242 in this corner, 35 pace would probably be reasonable, I think. But still really good. Especially when you're kind of not pushing too hard, because you just push too hard, you go into the walls, and you know your race is really over on a map such as this. Really narrow, fine margins between fast and dead is what it is. Yeah, NSX isn't even close. I think the NSX might have an advantage on this map in terms of like potential. I think the NSX might have a 30, 29 maybe. I don't know which builds that they were on though, so ran 34 with me an hour ago. Yeah, I'd expect in the range of 34. I think 33 would be a really good pace. I haven't really been watching the AP1 for the first half of the race, so I don't really know where it was pace-wise. But yeah, 35, 34. After it starts getting 33, you're getting into the 33, 32s, then you're really cooking. But yeah, 100 meters looking like to the NSX there. Very tidy lines. I think perhaps getting the line being too close to the grass, losing a bit of speed there, but yeah, NSX isn't close enough. This is AMG's home map, so again it's what you'd expect from the AMG races here. Very good, clean corner, 34 pace. Very, very well driven from the AMG driver here. Very well driven. Go on to the uphill next. Let's see who the races are for the uphill. Pace. Very good. Well, it could be FD actually. Oh, CCL. CCL, we are going to see CCL. His debut race for his team. Yeah, first race, debut race. Let's see what CCL can do. CCL is FD, I believe. Unless he's changed his car again, but I thought he was going to go FD. RZ picks position. CCL's on that. Let's see what Kenny for RZ wants to lead or chase. He chooses to lead. A wiser choice, generally speaking, just because you can kind of set the pace. 36.41. That PB difference alone is terrible. But CCO in an AP1 versus GTR, which isn't a very well, not known for its uphill capabilities. Let's just say that. Really, Slappy was running his PB, was he, against the Chinese guy? Wow. Sometimes you just got to be able to find that pace internally. Very well done. It was very, very well driven from the Chinese fellow to be able to set a time like that and then to do it in a race is very good. GTR, I think, getting a lead in the first sector. CISO really just trying to claw it back. It might, I don't know where the AP1 has the benefit. I mean, for a 36 in an AP1 is quite impressive. Like, I think 35 is like world record time. Maybe it's 34, but I don't think it's much lower than that. And he's getting 2 seconds off of a world record time in a car that perhaps isn't known for it. But I suppose the AP1 is really just a slightly less powerful FD, and on tracks such as Tsubaki, there's not the straights to get the power down. So while the FD is spinning its wheels, the AP1 can actually capitalize on its traction advantage. But GTR still in the lead, coming into what looks like where's the second sector start? Just after the straight is where the second sector will start, and yeah, CCL has managed to close up that sector 1 GTR advantage. He must pull it through the longer sweeping corners, a bit more downforce than the GTR. Should be less powerful, I would imagine. It just maxes out last 2 sections. Yeah, I imagine similar to the FD, right? Quite powerful in the last 2 sectors. Longer sectors, more downforce corners, high speed corners. Oh no, GTR makes a mistake, I think. A terrible mistake. Pings off the guardrail at just the wrong time. Leads him into the wall. Unfortunate, but perhaps the pressure caved into the pressure, but very well driving from the GTR from Kenny nonetheless. I think he would be on to do a very good time had he managed to keep it. But yeah, and this will be a 2-0 victory. Another one. AMG is very, very strong on the leaderboard currently. Not really many teams can put AMG to shame here. It seems to be doing a 2-0 victory each time. Yeah, I don't see CCL bottling it, to be perfectly honest, in the last sector now. Nice and tidy, close to the guardrails, on the power perfectly. Yeah, sounds like I'm glazing CCL here, but he's just doing a very good job here, keeping out of the walls, maximizing the track limits, all the space he's got available to him. Bloody hell. Just impressive. It's just impressive. We'll have a look and see how far the GTR is, how far back the GTR is. She's on the corner. Yeah, you can barely see the AP1 ahead. Massive collision from the GTR. Unfortunate, but I think Kenny's got some really good pace in him then. Yeah, it was quite... Oh no, another little mistake from the GTR there. I'll switch back to CC on the AP1. CC wasn't really affected by the crash. It all happened in front of him, so I imagine he's probably on for within half a second of his PB. Maybe not quite. 36, 37, 39, 40 even. Really well. 4 seconds off of his personal best, and he wasn't. I don't think it was really too slowed down. Well, that is. I can't believe that. That's it. That's the whole weekend done. Well, not a whole weekend. I think we've got another race tomorrow, but that's the whole race done. It just comes down to a single battle for the uphill, and then that's it. Well, that was really good racing. Oh, actually, they want to do a third map, do they? A little last minute, but I suppose. I'll put the results in, but yeah, I mean, it looks like we're going to go to a third map just for the hell of it. So don't go anywhere just yet. So we'll do the downhill first. Two 0 to AMG. Okay, so it looks like Myogi as the quote unquote, well, for fun, that's the for fun map. I don't really think there's any real limitations on who can race or what cars they're in, because as far as I'm concerned, the race has been concluded. So this is just a bit of fun. Do we have a RZ racer then? Yes, we go. Doesn't matter. Right, Myogi last race. It's Andre versus Gryffindor. I think it's FC for a final downhill battle. No, unfortunately no Solati though. Solati is probably the better car. Slightly better car. For this map, I think it's the best car for this map. Gryffindor getting a much better start, which is a bit odd. They're in the same car. Both keyboard players. Andre making a bit of an evasive maneuver there. Want to die on the curb on the inside. Yeah, Ryusuke versus Ryusuke. Both keyboard players, both FC players. Really just comes down to skill here. I'm not quite sure what the PBs were. 42 I saw. I don't think I saw 30, but I thought I did. But I don't think Gryffindor or Andre have a 30. 30 a high 39. I'd be surprised. Is what I'll be surprised. Andre getting a much better exit at that corner. Fast sector here. Lifting, bit of throttle control. Have it hard on the brakes. Both taking nice line there on the brakes. Nice and close to the apex. Straightening up. Lift. Oh, Andre seems to have a bit of a meeting with the curb, which is a common occurrence here on Myogi. Funimation dub versus sub. I keep it flat. Braking on the start of the red stuff. Very nice line from Gryffindor there, using all of the track, not overstepping it onto the dirt on the outside just before the curb. Andre not quite getting the line right there, over-rotating a bit too late in the corner, but manages to save it. Continuous, nice long continuous drift here. A lot of tapping on their A and D keys. Nice lines. Braking. Going tight. I'll brake mid corner. This corner's always a bit funny. Both braking, I think a little, not quite enough there to get the ideal line there, but I suppose it's all for fun, so there's not really any pressure here to perform and do the perfect line. Left right grip section, very tidy, not knocking it into the barrier there. Nice and close. I think Andre making another mistake, just tapping the inside of the curb there. Gryffindor looking like he's sizing up a move, going wide. There's nothing really there, nothing really materializes there. Tried to do that side by side drift, where I used to get in KSKD. Yeah, I don't know how bad the lag is, but Andre seems to be jumping all over the place for me. But yeah, I mean, if Gryffindor can get side by side, send out the inside, control it, then I suppose we could see some anime level little drifting. Oh, both hitting the outside curb there. Possibility of an overtake last corner, taking a sharper line, but scrubs a lot more speed and the straight isn't long enough. I guess we'll see one more round and then, or I don't know, I don't really know what's going on. Might see another round to switch positions, or we might just, nope, we are going again. 42-44, okay. 2-second pace difference. I suppose you would kind of see that, like we saw earlier with the AP1 NSX. We did see the NSX, you know, even on pushing his PB time, he still wasn't able to beat a Chinese guy who was just able to put down his PB. That was really good driving from the AP1 there. Gryffindor, much cleaner lines. Andre seems to be just not quite getting the initial turn in quite right to optimize the corner. Braking at the start of the red stuff. That was a bit too late, or maybe not hard enough. Normally that's a pretty good braking zone. Actually, I think you need to brake it just a bit earlier, and then you go for quite a narrow line. It's quite tight, quite difficult to do. Andre makes a little mistake coming out of that corner. Drift, full on drifting that. Not losing quite a lot of time there. Doesn't go wide, still keeps it within the range of the curb there. Gryffindor going a bit wide there. Ooh, very tight to the inside Gryffindor. I think Andre made a mistake there. We'll switch over to Gryffindor. Keeping it tidy. Grip section, does he lift? Not a little bit. Changes up. Not quite getting the right line. A reset. Andre is back in it then. You can hear him. Let's see where he is. And yeah, he's very much still in it. Headlights go on. Lag intensifies. Both the lights on. Andre's lag is horrendous here. Really can't see where he is. Very wide line there from Andre. Seems to do that wide line there going into the first one. Hello, what did I miss? You missed the AMG versus RZ. AMG wins 2 maps to nothing. This is just a fun little third map, playing for fun. But yeah, so AMG wins both RZ's home map of Akagi. Honourable mentions being Vingo, putting in a very good performance on the downhill. Very good indeed. And AMG's home match, which was Tsubaki, where again AMG managed to completely cook the other team. Really wasn't really much competition. Downhill was both drivers were able to run PB pace, but the AMG racer just had more pace in him. And the uphill was CCL versus Kenny, and Kenny made quite a fatal mistake. CCL just managed to pass, but yeah. Vingo on uphill. Did I say downhill? I meant uphill. Vingo on the uphill of Akagi. Very well driven indeed. 32 pace, I think. Or 33, I think. But anyway, it was good racing between them. 48 pace isn't particularly great. We'll go to the downhill. No, uphill. Uphill. I don't know that they've got a good uphill. GTR perhaps. Yeah, GTR perhaps for the uphill. Are you going up? Okay, we'll play out the downhill, sure. Kenny to go? Or are they going? It doesn't really matter. Whoever. Vingo or Kenny. Kenny. Oh, so Kenny had to go. So Vingo is doing the uphill. Perfect. No confusion there. Very well driven against Andre Gryffindor. Wow, good enough to win. 48 pace isn't the best. I mean, both multiple seconds of both of their PBs, but it was enough to win. Uphill we go. FD versus Vingo. 49-47, and FD leads. Umino FD leads. Thank you, unbiased. You're welcome, keyboard warrior. You're welcome. Evo GTR. Pace is similar. I think it's the same PB difference to Andre and Gryffindor. PB advantage going to the AMG fellows, both Amino and Gryffindor both having a better pace than their respected RZ players. Vingo making a bit of a mistake in that corner, just over rotating. It looked to perhaps brake too early, then get the rotation done too soon. But he's still with the GTR, bit of braking. Evo decides to lift there. Corner's got a large runoff. Vingo making the most of that runoff area in order to try and catch up. I think the gap is about 30 meters, perhaps 40. Bit of a slalom section here. Tidy from both drivers. Bit of a lift there from Vingo. I think you do have to lift throughout that corner to meet the second apex. Oh, Vingo not quite liking the initial rotation he got. Multiple hairpins coming up. Vingo drifting them, of course, in the Evo. I don't know if we're seeing some sideways action from the GTR there as well on the exits. Just absolutely launching the GTR. Bit of a lift there. Ooh, that's close. Not quite the line you want, but he made the most of it. Oh, he's gonna Well recovered. Well recovered. I thought it was for sure going to ping off a wall or get stuck to it, but very well maneuvered. But that's definitely 50, 60, 70 meters now. Heavy braking. Ooh, very, very, very big drift from Bingo there. Is there... What are you asking, keyboard? Looks like you started typing and forgotten something. Is there any VOD for... There will be, but I'm currently having a little bit of issues with the YouTube account. I've saved the VODs so that I haven't lost them or anything, and I'm gonna try and upload those sooner, as soon as I can, really. There's a bit of a verification process that's going to go on because the account is relatively new, and I was able to post, 3 other videos or 4 other videos, however many, but it just didn't want me to post any more. So we're gonna post those when we can with the GTI here. I believe I've got the file for. Let's see. I've got LE versus RZ. I've got CP versus. I should have it. I thought I had another one. WRC, I don't think I've lost it, but PSC ignoring 4, but accepted CFS. Did they? Was that really what happened? Well played from those two. I'm just going to quickly check. Well, there's no more races going on today, but are you sure? So PSC ignored 4, but accepted TSF. How long ago is this? Well, I'd be surprised, but ideally you shouldn't be able to. I don't know. I can't see anything. Do you know when this was, where PSC didn't accept it and just ignored it? HG challenges frog, ABS declines. I don't know. The challenging seems to be very, very open. Like, oh, there you go. They did ignore it. SR challenges PSU. And they didn't respond. But this is, we are talking about, like, what was 9 days ago? And I mean, they challenged, I don't know, technically the thing is, they have 24 hours to accept or decline, right? And once they choose to accept or decline, then if they want to keep challenging and race someone for that weekend, they can challenge someone else. That's how it's meant to work, but I don't know. I don't really think there's anything that can be enforced per se. But thank you for the follow. I don't know how to pronounce that name. They should have. Well, I mean, I don't know. I think that if SR wants to keep challenging, no, was it SR? I just saw it a second ago. Yeah, so okay, SR challenged PSU, they didn't reply, and then SR challenged ABS. You're right, they ignored it, but you still got to race. There's no real issue there. A little annoying, I can give you that, but yeah, I mean, challenge them again if you want to race them specifically. But yeah, nothing wrong with that really. They didn't accept or decline your invitation for a battle, so not really much they can do. Well, not really much I can do. They just ignored it really. But yeah, okay, well that's all the battles today. We've got a battle tomorrow, same time tomorrow. And that is against Zero Fighter versus CPS, which is a spot for #1 on the leaderboard. So do tune in for that tomorrow, same time, to 14 UTC. Hopefully that will be. I don't think that will be a particularly good race. I think Zero Fighter are probably punching above their weight, but CPS accepted it, so I guess we'll see what CPS can put up against Zero Fighter. So thank you all for tuning in, and I will see you all tomorrow for 14 UTC.